y'all, I got a YouTube comment from Shannon, and I was like, no way. And this is what Shannon said. The craziest thing about the cherry pick statement and the link to the full statement was that when the article came out, they dropped the paywall so everyone could read the article. And if you were like me and clicked to read BF's full statement, it was behind a paywall. Seemed a bit shady. And I said, shut the front door. Was it? That's extra shady. So I don't know who else did what Shannon did, which was read the article but clicked on Bryan Freedman's like full statement. Because one of the things that I was saying is New York Times hid it behind a link because they know that the drop off between people reading the actual article and clicking on a link to see the full statement, it drops it dramatically, almost to zero. Not really zero, but very, very few, right? And I also found it very interesting that in her list of people who announced stuff about the CRD before the New York Times, they left off the Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter actually reported the full quote from Bryan Freedman. They were the only news outlet that reported the full quote of Bryan Freedman in the main body of their article. And they never mentioned the Hollywood Reporter. They just mentioned everybody else, which I found intentional and very interesting. But if they truly did this, like Shannon's experience was, like, I want to hear if other people experience the same thing too. Did you go and read it? And when you went to click on the full statement for Bryan Freedman, was that paywalled versus the whole article, which they so kindly removed out of a paywall? And sometimes it makes me feel like, did they remove it out of a paywall? Because how did they feel comfortable enough to not, I don't know, get money for people to read their article? Unless, I don't know how, is this a pay to play kind of situation where they compensated in the front end so that they didn't have to paywall the situation? Because they paywall a lot, right? I think they paywall all the time. So what made this different that they didn't paywall it then? Actually, I just checked on the current state of the article, and right now there's no paywall on the article. Obviously, why would they do that right now at this point? But when I do click on Bryan Freedman's statement, it says this. So when I have to log in. So it's a free login, right? When I click login, it says you can create a free account, but I still have to commit. And most people don't want to do this extra step. So they do create barriers. They did create barriers to get to the full statement.